So I had a stainless job come into the shop today and I had to buy a new MIG welder because I don't want any cross-contamination. But the machine that I bought only takes a small 5 kg roll of wire, and all I can get in the country at the moment is a 12.5 kg of wire, so that's not going to fit inside the machine. Therefore, I have to now build a stand to hold the bigger reel of wire and be able to feed that into the machine so I can finish the stainless steel job. Let's do it. So I've tacked everything together. I'm just gonna put all this part together, put the roll on and see if everything fits. I had to move the threaded rod up from here because when I put that roll on, it started hitting on here. So hopefully now I moved it up enough that I can put all this together. And the 12.5 kg roll of stainless wire should fit on the back here. And then my plan is, when I got the welder, I upgraded to a 4 meter long torch, slightly better torch, and a Teflon liner. Teflon liner so that the metal doesn't contaminate, or the metal liner doesn't contaminate the stainless steel. And I was left with a bit left over. So what my plan is I'm gonna, on the lathe, turn a wee plug that fits in there. This will run through it, and then on the inside here, this Teflon will come through, the back, and then I'll make a wee part that holds these together, and then that can hang out the back. What that's going to do is that's sort of going to hopefully guide the wire from the spool into the machine and guide it in a bit nicer into it, so that the motor doesn't have to work as hard to turn that bigger roll. Yeah, don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. I'll put it together and we'll give it a test, I suppose. So basically how this goes together, we've got a washer. Washer goes on first, then the actual holder. So this is 3D printed, pretty strong, so that goes on next. As you can see, that spins quite sort of freely and loose. So then we put another washer on, and then I've got the spring. So this is the exact same system as what this is using to tension this, and basically we want tension on this so that when that wire's in the machine, it doesn't unspool the wire and then you've got a big mess of wire and then it can tangle while you're welding, and it's just not really the desirable outcome. So the spring goes on next, and then you've got another washer, and then the nut screws on there. So the spring retains the nut so that the nut's not going to come loose, and then the nut also is what puts tension on that spring. So as you can see there, that's nowhere near as free. Tighten it up to that point where, right there, it doesn't feel like it would take a bit of pressure to actually turn that. So I'll grab the wire. So this is the spool of wire. You can see it's ER308 LSI solid wire. So all we're going to do is we're going to line this piece here up with the piece on here. Yeah, so now this is just like any other welder that can take the spool. So as you can see there, we've got the spool holder. Hopefully once I weld that up, it'll get a bit stronger. If not, I can always put another nut on that and put a brace down to here so that it holds it a bit better. But I mean, all it's doing is holding that weight, and it's only going to get lighter with time, so it's probably going to be fine. You can still open the door to be able to feed the wire in through the Teflon tube. Put it through your tensioner, and then obviously all your bits and pieces on the front there. So I think what I'll do now is I'll go through and I'll weld it up a bit better, and that'll sort of stiffen the whole thing up a bit, and then yeah, I guess we'll reassemble it back together. So let's do that. that's a big gap from a real bad cut, so see if we can pretty that up. That's pretty good. Wow, that's the welding done. It seems pretty flat, like it's not rocking anywhere, so that's good. The welds turned out pretty nice. Pretty happy with that. Just welded it downhill, so downhill makes anyone look like a good welder. But yeah, we'll chuck the machine back in it and we'll put the roll back on and we'll see if that's made it a bit more rigid. So the machine fits in there nicely, and I can still open the door to be able to adjust tension and things like that. So we'll put them back together the same way as we did before. Washer, then the part, another washer, spring, another washer, and the nut. I want to tension that up so that it's, you know, got a bit of resistance there, so it's not going to randomly turn and unspool itself. That's pretty good there. So this is a left-hand nut, so that I guess it doesn't come loose. Yeah, it was just part of how this one worked in here, so I copied the exact same thing as inside the machine, but I did lengthen this out obviously because the bigger spool's wider. So yeah, left-hand nut as well. So yeah, that's sort of what it looks like, and then we'll have the tube like we showed before going through the machine. Alright, well, turn down the nut now, bolt, so that'll be able to have one on one side of here, so it'll be like that out the back, and then that'll be fed all the way through into the roller. So it'll be like that. Yeah, that should hold that in the back nicely. And then I'll just have to come up with another solution to hold the rest of it. But yeah, that's pretty much that part. I think I'll make another part the same as that. It'll hold this piece here. So I might actually, I'll drill out the back of the hole there so that it can actually take this piece through there. Then might do it. Damn it. Cool, so that allows that to feed through there. That'll hold that nice and tight. Might even put a wee, we'll see, doesn't really need it, it's not going to go in there. Yep, and then that can just hang out as far as it needs to. And yeah, it's time to turn the attentions to the inside. Oh, awesome, I think that's going to work. So I've got the piece we made in the back there. It's just a bit of, I think it's nylon, and yeah, that's just holding the piece of Teflon tube into the inlet there for where the wire goes, so I can still use all of this. yeah, hopefully that'll just make the wire feed off of there a bit nicer into the machine. As you can see, there's the Teflon tube coming out the back, so that's all held nice and secure. So I think I'll just chop that off sort of here somewhere, and that'll allow that to be able to flex and move as it needs to as the roll gets smaller. Right, so we've got the wire up here, so we have to take that off, clip it, and then feed it through the hole here into the actual machine itself. So we'll be able to, hopefully you'll be able to see that come through as well. Probably take that door off, might make it a bit easier for you to see. The things you do for YouTube, eh? This is a brand new machine this week, so taking the door off, things apart already. Sweet, so I guess I'll turn the machine on, I'll go stand way down there and pull the trigger, and hopefully that turns, that feeds wire, and then it comes out of the end of the nozzle here. So take that off. Take that out, just make it a bit easier to feed through the torch. So turn it on. It's on. I think it's on max speed, so we'll try it at half speed first and see if it feeds. Well, that seems to be turning quite nice, so I'll crank the speed all the way up for the wire feed and see if it still pushes it through. Sweet. Oh wow, there it is. There's the wire at the end, so clearly the setup works, so that's cool. Seems like there's enough resistance on this to stop it from, you know, winding back or unspooling or anything, which is good. So yeah, I guess I'll snip the end of that off and put the nozzle back on, and then yeah, we're ready for welding the stainless. Well, when my gas shows up, so I'm still waiting on that. Hopefully that'll be here. Hopefully that'll be here this week.